I'm very fortunate that probably my greatest enjoyment of living and working here is a sense of continuity. We've been farmers, we've been loggers, we have run small sawmills, we've been business people, we've been professors and academics. To be able to live here and work here and enjoy it personally, but also with a sense of history and continuity, making use of things that my forebears cared for also.
A lot of the values that go with settling a rural community, I think that has stayed with us to a certain extent.
I can trace my family roots back 200 years.
I was born in 1941 and I moved to Unity with my family, and I lived there until 1959 when I went off to college.
I have lived in Unity for 17 years now.
I've actually lived this area my whole life. I rented that house over there when I was in college. I rented another one up the road a little bit farther. And flag!
When I think of the watershed and Sebasticook Regional Land Trust in its early days, they had a big vision and they're accomplishing it.
Anybody who spends more than an hour just traipsing through fields and woods anywhere in this area is going to benefit and is going to, with any reflection, realize how special and wonderful this place is.
Nature is a wonderful place, and we are certainly an intricate part of that. We don't come out of the forest, we are the forest.
I see new pieces on the map, connecting the dots, creating a watershed that is also going to allow migrating birds to have safe passage. It's going to accommodate wildlife.
The wildlife values, the water quality values, the multiple site opportunities, highlands, lowland, swamps, rocky outcrops, hardwoods, softwoods.
Trying to accomplish a pattern of land use management that is also going to be very beneficial for the people who work the land.
Good forestry is multiple use of land. Foresters are trained in not only growing and managing timber, but recognizing the other values.
Conservation allows a balanced range of activities.
Balancing the needs of the watershed area as environment, as an ecological niche area, but keeping in mind the needs of the people who live here.
There are economic uses, right on Stevens Road, of hay, corn being grown for cattle, opportunities for timber harvesting, for firewood, pulpwood, lumber. And there are lots of non-economic uses going on right now and that will continue to into the future.
So it's very much working farms, it's working woodlots, and being very conscious of the needs of the landowners.
The wonder of Central Maine's forest is it's really pretty remarkably diverse, and if you have an eye to see those things, you benefit from them. Recreation, we're talking about, is everywhere, and there again, we take it for granted.
Getting up just before dawn and taking a walk or run and watching the local area just come to life.
If you're somebody who can appreciate a slower pace, who likes to hear birds singing, who enjoys going out into the wetlands in a kayak, then you might actually find things to do around here.
Opportunities for fishing, there's trails, there's shoreland for picnics and fishing, just quiet spots for rest, reflection.
it's hard to live here and not be connected to the outdoors.
They've had a whole series of walking tours, right? Every time a new parcel opens up, we are invited, both members and non-members, to often get a guided tour with an expert. So I think the most recent one was Dylan Dillaway, who led us on an interesting winter hike to look at identifying tree species in the woods.
But we learned a lot and we saw a lot on the way. And that gets people on the land, and once they see the land and feel comfortable, it gets people more invested.
I'm always concerned that people in Maine don't really appreciate what we have here.
I guess it's one of these things where you see it all the time, so it's not special.
It's grown, but not out of control. It hasn't lost its charm.
It's not Katahdin, it's not Kineo, it's not Acadia or the Bold Coast, but it is wonderful in and of itself.
I mean, it's not big wild woods, but it offers a lot of chance to get out.
If you love nature, which I do, this is a great place to be.
Let me read to you a poem that I like very much. It's by Rod Farmer, who teaches at the University of Maine at Farmington, and it's called A Sense of Place. As the mass culture homogenizes the nation, its regions become less distinct. Yet my central Maine remains remarkably New Englandly in culture and anchored in humble but honest old land, strewn with numerous stones, earth the lilacs like enough to prosper in, and in the same neighborhood as wild plums and raspberries and blackberries. Along woods roads and abandoned but not forgotten fieldstone walls. This place doesn't yell at you for attention the way the grandeur of the Grand Canyon does, or with the loud voice of cosmopolitan New York City. In too many places, the natural and social worlds shut you down. They do all the talking and ask all the questions. But central Maine understates itself. It has a certain economy of speech about itself, a close-mouthedness that lets the citizen ask questions of the natural and social worlds, and ask questions of oneself. It's good to place one's sense of place in a place of good sense. So what? Why is it important to us? And by us, I mean all of us who live in central Maine and can access it.
Thomas Wolfe always said, of course, that you can't go home again. And that's true because things change, but you've changed also. My life has just been one expanding journey, shall we say. But I think part of that is because I have a home base. This is my place, and no matter where I go, it will always be my place.
That's what I'm passing on to my children as well. And I'm pleased to say I think they get it. I think that they are enjoying it also. And now, of course, there are grandchildren, and that's the next step of the next group of people to mentor and to give them an appreciation of what we have here.
See how fluffy it is now?
What we can do best, I think, is to get the young kids out on the land. What better door can we open for them? What better message can we offer? Really paying attention to the land and to your place.